Hey guys, that's Michelle by the Beatles. My version of it on the banjo. I think the original was in A flat. I'm playing it in A, I guess, for the banjo. It's a really neat tune with some cool changes and some really unusual stuff in it. And it was a lot of fun to learn it on the banjo. The song comes in 3 parts. First you have this intro section, which has a cool little chromatic rundown. So what you have is these 2 notes here, the F and the A are held the whole way, and you start with a D and you do a descending line. D, D flat, C, B. See, I changed my finger positions a little bit, but it's still the F and the A there. So. Now when you get back here to the B flat, instead of trying to hold these 2 way up here, what I do instead is hit an open D to go with that B flat. And then you slide way up. All the way up here to an A with the open D, the high D ringing out. And that's the intro. So again, I'll play it a little slower. And you can tell when I do this, I mostly let that high D just ring out. And then hit that string again when I'm playing the A. So that's the intro. The verse uses a technique that's really common on the guitar, and that's where you alternate between the root and the fifth as you play the chord. And so it uses that rhythm where it does root and then the chord, fifth, chord, and so on. It was kind of hard to do on the banjo because you don't have a low E string or the low A string. So I kind of simulate that a little bit here. The verse opens with a D major, and so I hit the open D, and then I hit the, right there, those 3, that's the high part of the chord, and then I play the fifth. Now you could just refret and do it like that. I like to I just put my middle finger down there on the 7th fret. That allows these 3 to continue ringing out. So it's like this. Then it goes to a G minor, and we do the same type of thing. Again, I don't have the low string, so I hit an open G, and then right here, 7, 8, 8, that's your G minor. Now here it changes the pattern a little bit. It does and that right there is an F and the low D, and then it does a B flat and the high D. So it's kind of an interesting little change there. And then you're back into that first pattern where we're doing a C major. And that time when I'm doing the C, I'm actually I'm doing the 5th root, and then, I'm sorry, that is the root, yeah, root. But the 5th is lower instead of higher, like the other, like on the D major. And then it does this really cool sequence of diminished chords. And you could do it like this. You could do, the cool thing about a diminished chord is that if you take that shape and you slide it forward or back 3 frets, it's just an inversion. It's just of the same chord. And that's what they do. They do so that's how they're sliding up. And then they resolve it on an A major. Now what I do, because it's, to me, sliding up and back like that is a little more mistake prone, so what I do, you can also do it like this. Okay, so that's just playing the F and the G sharp, and then you play the G sharp, open B, open D, and then you play the G sharp, open B, F, and then G sharp, open B, and D again. And that, if you do that, that's the same sequence. Again. And then it does this little lick at the end. And that's just the B and the D string. And you do them both open, second, third, second. And then it does a little bass climb up, and since I can't play the low end on the banjo, I'm doing a lot of these bass lines an octave higher, which is actually kind of cool and interesting. And so coming right out of that lick, you do a walk up that leads back into the D. So you do the A, B, C sharp, and now I'm back into the D. So to do that whole figure nice and slow, we do the D, G minor, then a little variation, and C major, diminished, A, and we're back into the D. So, as I just demonstrated, you do the verse 2 times and then you go into the chorus. Now the second time that you end the verse, instead of doing A, B, C sharp, I just do A, B, and then pause for 1 beat. And so I do the open B, which coupled with that pause gives me just enough time to reposition my fingers down here on the 10th and 12th fret. And this is a D minor. And so initially I hit the open D and then the G and the B strings on the 10th fret. And then that little high melody is the high D string where you're hitting the 12th to 10th fret. And then you slide up. So that's that whole lick there. And then the little bass walk in between A, C, just like that. D7th here, so you hit that open D, that's the D7. And you're taking that A and you're augmenting it there. And then you go back to a B flat major. So, to take it from the beginning of the chorus. Bass walk, C, D, B flat, and then this is a weird chord, I don't know what it is called, G, E, and D, and then so you hit it once, and then you hold the high D down on the 7th fret, that's an A. You get 3 of those, and you slide up, and that would be the 11th fret on the low D and the 12th fret on the high D, and then back to the 7th on both, and then you can just do it on the high D, 5th fret, 3rd fret, and then a little walk up. E, F, G, and that takes us back into the intro figure. So we'll run through the chorus here nice and slow. After the chorus, when you go back into the intro figure, it doesn't really, it plays all the notes at once. It doesn't do like when you do it as an intro, you really emphasize the chromatic like this. But after the chorus, when you get there, you just kind of play them all at once because there's singing that goes over that and it just goes in with the vocal. The whole song. Let's try it one more time. Keep an eye out for more posts that I've got coming out soon. I've been in kind of a Beatles, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin kind of mood lately, and I've got several songs by those bands that I'll be posting out here hopefully pretty soon, so check it out and let me know what you think. If you got any questions or suggestions, let me know. See you next time.